Okay, so distributive property. I like to think about it, Edwin, we're going to put the iPad away. We don't need it. We need our notebooks and our notes. I like to think about it as like trick-or-treating. Okay? So here's the front door. Let's pretend I am the number 8. Here are the trick-or-treaters going to my door. They knock on my door. Trick-or-treat. Now, this one gets treats. Now, this one that's right behind them, it's a group of kids going trick-or-treating. Is it fair not to give the person standing right behind the first person treats?
Yes.
Okay. So then we give everybody that's coming to trick-or-treat candy. Even if you're in the front or if you're in the back, you get candy. So here's my trick-or-treaters. They knock on the door. The person in the house gives this person candy and gives the same amount of candy to this person. So everyone's even. Okay? So the number one thing, like distributive property, like distribute. You're going to distribute candy, right? So everybody gets candy. Number one mistake kids do is they only give candy to the first number. And it's like, no, give candy to everybody in the group. Okay? Now, how do we give candy? We're writing this down, Jesus, yes? Okay, you give candy by multiplying, via multiplication. So this means 8 times 6. So 8 times a 6 plus, where am I getting that plus sign? Right there, no big deal. And then, Jeffrey, we're writing this down. 8 times your x. Okay, so you're giving candy to the first person, you're giving candy to the second person. Okay, how? Via multiplication. So then we do the math. 8 times 6, 48, plus 8 times x. 8x. Here's how you write this answer. 8x. You squish it together. Okay? In algebra, when a number and a letter, a variable, are together, it's multiplication. We don't write the dot. This is like showing work. We don't write the dot. We don't write, obviously, the x for multiplication. We just squish it together. This is the answer to this. 8 times x is 8x. Yep. Yes?
Is it necessary to do the x like that?
Well, just I do, because that's how a variable looks like. It's kind of in cursive. If you want to write your regular x, that's fine. Just know that it's not a multiplication sign. This is why in 7th grade we step away from doing the multiplication sign. Okay, is this our final answer?
No.
Yes.
Oh.
Trick question. This is it. That's it. You cannot put these two together. Does anybody know why we cannot put these together? That's one reason. What's another reason? So this one, the 48, doesn't have a variable, so they're not the same. Next week, we're going to learn about combining like terms. These are not like terms. These are two individual terms that we cannot combine together. When you just see a number by itself, I like to think about it as money. This is $48. When you have a variable, Achilles, it's like an unknown value, right? And we don't know it, and we won't know it. We're just done. This is like 8 bananas. I don't know how much each banana costs, but I have 8 bananas, so we're done. Okay, this is it. Second mistake kids do is they try to put this together and call it 56x. And it's like, you do not have 56x. Nice try. All right, let's try another one. 5 parentheses x plus, let's say 12.
It doesn't matter if they're the other way around?
Nope. So this time when they went trick-or-treating, the x came first. Cool. So we're going to distribute the candy to the first term and candy to the second term. They each get the same amount of candy. If it's 1 bag or 5 bags of candy, whatever. So we do it via multiplication, which is 5 times x plus 5 times 12. This is a showing work. So 5 times x is 5x, very good. That is an answer, 5x. Plus 60. Am I done? Yep, that's it. This is simplifying, okay, this is called simplifying. And this would literally be your answer that you would type in or select. It looks like you're not done, right? Well, sometimes in algebra, you end up with what still looks like a problem, but this is as far as you can go. Any questions? No, it's pretty easy. Yeah. Okay, let's make it harder. This is two things that could be difficult for some of you. Okay, none of you. It does, totally. You're literally doing algebra right now. All right, and this will lead into what we learn next week. So this is like the foundation. You will be doing distributive property forever. It's one of those things, kind of like positive and negative numbers. You'll be doing them forever. All right, does anybody want to take a?
6b plus negative 27.
Close. You're missing one little tiny thing.
The negative 27x.
Oops, it's a weird looking arrow. So this is negative 3 times 2b plus negative 3 times 9. Oh, so I use the parentheses as multiplication instead of the dot. That still means multiplication, right? Switched it on you. What's negative 3 times 2b?
6b. Negative 6b.
Negative 6b. But Miss O'Malley, I thought you can't put these two together because it has a number and a variable. Well, you can multiply them. Even if one number doesn't have a variable and the other number has a variable, you can multiply. The only thing you can't do is add or subtract them. You can multiply and divide, but you can't. You can multiply and divide, but you can't add and subtract. Plus negative 27. Yeah. Are we okay? So are we okay when there's a number here? Right? You just multiply the two big numbers and carry the variable. No, not until next week. We'll practice. We're still practicing. All right. Oh, let's do, fine. I'll get rid of.
Is that 5c?
Mm-hmm. I mean, my favorite variable is x, but you have to realize that you can use any variable, any letter. We try not to use s or t's because s looks like a 5 sometimes and the t looks like a plus sign. So we stay away from those. But no, variables change all the letters. You can use all the letters. Don't. So what did you guys get?
26 minus 40.
Yep.
4 times 5 and then
4 times 5 is 20, and then you just put the variable, right? And then 4 times 10 is 40.
oh.
I didn't show work, but I guess I have to. Hold on. 4 times 5c and minus, because it's just bring it down, 4 times 10. Okay?
That number times 5.
Yeah, it's like you're trick-or-treating. So this number, candy, gets given to this, whatever this is, and this candy gets given to this, whatever this is. Or it's like when Miss Lamelli hands out paper, right? She gives it to the first person, and the first person gives it to the person in the back. Yes. All right. This is right now. That's your answer. You can't put these two together. You can't subtract them because this one has a C and this one does not. This one says, right now in my classroom, I have 20 cats and 40 bucks. I don't know. C for cats. I don't know. It doesn't matter. No.
Child. Children. Movie child. Children. Yeah, you're 20 children and 40 babies.
What if
A 9mm. Many people.
Yeah. 9 monkeys minus $8. I don't know. And we have 2 groups of that. So, what if the number that we're going to distribute is in the back?
Do the same thing.
Do the same thing. Go here and here. Okay? Same thing. So, 2... Left to right. So, I mean, when the number's in the back, you're going to distribute it. Even if it's like, so here, usually the number's in the front that you're going to distribute. But you know, have you ever been to a place where, like, you go to a house and there's a house in the back as well?
Yeah.
Right? So let's just pretend this is the house in the back. So you have to go to the back. Knock, knock. Distribute, distribute. So 2 times 9M, 18M, minus 2 times 8, 16. And we can't put these 2 together. Okay, in algebra, sometimes our problems look like they're not done, but they're simplified all the way you can. All right, are we okay? It's not terribly like, oh my God, this is the hardest thing in the world. It's not. It's really not. The only way it could get difficult is if you don't know your negative numbers. That's it. Well, I mean, if you're in this class, you should know how to multiply. No. No. Let's say we have this. This is where it could get hard if you're not good with your negative numbers. Okay? So we're going to distribute this -7, right? Notice it's like there's no operation next to the number and the parentheses. Why? Because it means multiplication. So here and here. So -7 times -2y plus -7 times 6. So this is where I show my work. Especially something like this, I want to keep track to make sure I multiply everything correctly. I'm using the right numbers. So what do you guys think -7 times -2y is?
14. Negative 14. Oh, sorry. Wait, is this you or is it a y?
It's a y.
Because it's a simple thing.
Okay, that's cool.
Right?
It looks like a G. It's like a Y.
I put a G.
It's a variable, dude. So whatever you want to make that variable, you can make that variable whatever you want.
Millie is getting attacked.
Seriously. And on video recorded. Jeez.
Oh, yeah, huh? Oh, wow. I made out. It's a Dorito Man. Dorito Man. Oh, Dorito Man.
So here, Dorito Man says you have 2 negatives. It equals a positive. Here you have 1 negative, 1 positive, so your answer is negative. I just put these parentheses to kind of keep it all together. Excuse me, I drew it, so therefore you draw it.
I thought it was like something for the Dorito Man.
Well, the Dorito Man.
Can I give the Dorito Man a top hat?
Yes, be extra fancy, please. Yes.
We got the 1 chip challenge in our house. That looks like the Dorito Man, and then I took like a very little finger of it, and then it was spicy.
I never heard of the 1 chip.
You haven't? It's
No.
made of like.
Oh, there's a new one chip.
Yeah.
What is that?
I put my finger on it and went like this. It was
Hey,
like,
there's a new one chip. It's not spicy, it's nasty.
they don't taste very good.
It tastes like fish. Fishes are good. But like the bad kind. I love fish. I see what you got. You want chip challenge. That's kind of like raw Oh, okay. Oh, let me see. Hello. Hello.
All right. So, huh? If you need to go back to your notes for reference. Okay, so it says here, using the distributive property, it says simplify each expression. So, basically, it's what we just did to simplify. How far can you take it? You don't know what A is, you don't know what the variables are, so you can't really solve, but what you can do is just simplify it, okay? If you read, which I'm shocked that kids would actually read the directions, if you read simplify each expression, it just says, hey, do what you can. Do what you can. So Evan, let's turn around. So negative 6 times A plus negative 6 times 8. Negative 6 times A is negative 6A plus negative 6 times 8, negative 48. So you might need the Dorito Man kind of drawn in the top so you see it, you use it, you believe in the Dorito Man. This is your final answer. We cannot put it, we can't combine these two. We can't simplify it further. You're done. That's it. Okay? Yes. I'll do number 3 going down. Okay, Eddie, I need you to be on task. We're on this. I already did 2 problems for you. You need to stay with us. Alright, you do number 3 on your own, and you see if your number 3 matches my number 3. So do it on your own. See if at the end of the day you match. Don't just copy my number 3. You try to see how far you can get with number 3, and then double check, and you're like, yay or nay. If you need a multiplication chart, cool. Use it. If you need to draw the Dorito Man, cool. Draw the Dorito Man. Don't just sit there and not do it because I don't know the Dorito Man or I don't know how to multiply and I need my chart. Like, use your chart. I'd rather you use your resources than not do this. Because I need these skills for next week.